What do we mean by critical structural weaknesses, CSW? So if it's insignificant, the real threat it's unlikely to lead to loss of life or property damage. When we say property damage, we really mean next door, to damage to neighbouring properties. If it's significant, there's likely to be moderate loss of life and likely to be damage to the adjacent property. Severe is, yes, likely of severe loss of life. Now, the document doesn't actually define the difference between moderate loss of life and severe. I think that's left to you to decide as well. Now, severe structural weakness. Now, these are only applicable to if you've got more than 3 stories and you've got floors and roofs which are heavy, then you need to consider the severe structural weaknesses. And these are weaknesses that are associated with catastrophic pancake collapse. And this is what I've called disproportionate collapse in my early seminars. So, as mentioned, a weak or soft story. This is a common cause of failure in commercial buildings, in commercial multi-story buildings. That the lowest story, although it's the heaviest loaded, is often the weakest, particularly to lateral load. Have you got brittle columns and brittle column connections? And that may be revealed by the drawings. If you've got, for example, reinforced concrete, you'll see where the containment steel is or isn't, and see whether the reinforcement is continuous or not, and whether the lap lengths are adequate. Is it a building with a flat slab? And if so, is that flat slab reliant on the low ductility to the slab column connections? And if you've got a diaphragm, is there an effective or not connection between your diaphragm and the other lateral load resisting elements? And if you go over 6 stories, now they only put this for the taller buildings, based on the idea that the taller the building you have, the more likely the spread of the gap between your stairs and the supporting structure is going to be large enough to dislodge the stair. So, is the stair likely to fall off? Another issue with stair, though, is sometimes the stairs are supported halfway up a masonry wall. So a seismic event will then put lateral loads out of plane on a masonry wall, which can lead to its collapse, which will lead to the collapse of the stair. If any of the above, it's a potential earthquake-prone building, and you then have to justify why it's not an earthquake-prone building.